What's up my dudes, it's Ansu and today I'm here to do a Q&A. If you didn't know, I recently hit a 200 subscriber mark, and by recently I mean last week, and I've already filmed this video, but I hated it, so we're refilming again. First of all, I really like to thank every single one of you who are subscribed to my channel. I've hence been growing a little bit, and I've also had a lot of people commenting on my videos. I'm so grateful for every single one of you for doing that. I actually went onto Twitter to ask if people had questions, and some of you guys did, so I'm gonna answer some of those questions today. First up, we have, what is your favorite book? And you know what, I was actually thinking about this for some time, and I feel like it should be Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I adored that book a lot. It was really fantastic. I intend on rereading it this year. I don't know when. I know my friend has already reread it and she absolutely adores it, that I kind of want to reread it again this year. We'll see if I actually do that, but Six of Crows is just one of my favorite books for sure. Would you prefer hardback or paperback? This kind of depends, because hardback is great to look at on the shelf, and if you kind of want to display it, I feel like hardbacks are the best. Also, if you're going to put it on a tabletop or something and read, it's great because it also like holds down the weight, whereas if you have a paperback, it'll just be floppy and almost close on you. But I do adore floppy paperbacks to read from because they're just so much lighter and easier to handle. So I don't know, like I feel like I would choose hardback just because of the aesthetic and whatnot, but I don't know if I would actually choose it for like purchasing every single time. Actually, I would choose hardback, yeah. Who is your favorite author, and would you prefer to have a drink with them or to have a full-on dinner party? That's a little hard, but I feel like I would read anything Marissa Meyer puts out. I really adore her writing style. I like the way that her content goes through, but I also adore Lee Schwab. Probably one of those. And I would choose to have a dinner party just because I feel like having a drink with them could quickly finish, whereas if you have like a full-on dinner party, you can talk to them more, I guess, and just be straight up creepy. So I feel like that would be great. So I feel like I would just choose to have a dinner party with them instead. What is your favorite childhood book? I would have picked a certain 7-book series if it was like 2 weeks ago, but since the author is pretty much a douche, I don't know if I should be promoting that on my channel. But it would have been Harry Potter if I was talking about it like 3 weeks ago. But I feel like it would be a tie between my first ever read series and that particular series as well. My first ever read series was Princess Diaries. And you have no idea, I would die for Michael Moskowitz. He was my first ever book boyfriend. I adored the crap out of him. It was the perfection of a boyfriend, and I was just like, I want him, please, thank you. It was so cute. My 11-year-old heart was dying for him. I went ahead and read the entire series after that. Obviously, I completely loved those characters. I even loved those movies, especially the first one. I don't think the second one was anything related to the books. The first one was like loosely related at least, and I adored that movie as well. It has this very special place in my heart. I adore that series, so I will go with Princess Diaries. Is there any content you want to do more of, or videos you enjoy making more than others? I personally adore making planning videos. I know they're not technically related to Booktube, and it's not even particularly because I'm good at it, but I also enjoy really just making sit down talking videos. Not very good at it, I'm going to admit that, but it's something I still enjoy doing. Name a book you would recommend everybody to read in each of your favorite genres. That is actually such a good question. I like that. So I like to read fantasy, romance, and contemporary the most. If you're looking for fantasy specifically, anything by Leigh Bardugo, Lee Schwab, and Brent Weeks and Brandon Sanderson, so good. If you're looking for romance, Jasmine Guillory is one of my new favorites. If you're more of a historical romance kind of a person, I used to adore Julia Quinn, and anything she essentially writes is like my favorite. It doesn't matter what she writes, I'm just like consuming that a lot. If you're more veering towards romance, contemporary, or chick lit, women's fiction, whatever, Lindsay Kelk. I know a lot of people don't talk about her books on here, and I adore her books. I have for a very long time. I've read it since I was a teenager. And the I Heart series by Lindsay Kelk is just so good. I don't know why people haven't read it so much, or why they don't talk about it that much, but it's really up there for me. Morgan Matson is a really good one, so any books by her is it's really fun. I don't know which category this falls into, but The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. I really loved that series a lot because I thought it was funny, and it was really talking about like political issues and everything. I thought it was really fun. I think it was like historical fantasy romance or something. I liked it a lot, so that one too. What inspired you to create a booktube channel? Honestly, watching so many booktube videos has gotten me to a point where I wanted to make videos. I started making YouTube videos 3 years ago, so it has definitely been a while. I was a huge fan of Emma from Emma Books and Reagan from Peruse Project. I watched every single one of their videos. I was obsessed with their content. And also when I was younger, I loved YouTube. Like, I loved that idea of making YouTube videos and I wanted to do that for myself. But when I found the niche of booktube, I was like fascinated by it and I wanted to be a part of it. So when I was 19, I decided that I wanted to make content. Again, like, I was super awkward in front of a camera. I could not talk. I looked very scripted even though I didn't have a script. It was bad. Like, it was bad content. Lighting was crap. The angle of the videos was just so bad. Everything was completely off. My editing skills were like 100 times worse than this. So it was just bad overall. But I feel like I've gotten a little better and it just makes me happy. Favorite snack to eat while reading? I actually don't eat when I'm reading, unfortunately, so I don't know if I can even answer that question. But if I were to eat anything at all, it would be if I was reading an ebook or something or listening to an audiobook. I would eat anything that's a junk food. I'm not very picky. If you could go back in time and unread a book, which one would you pick? Do you even have a doubt in the answer for this question? It's gonna be Anna and the French Kiss. Oh man, if I could erase that completely out of my brain, I would totally do it. I did not like that book. You probably know this by now because I have ranted about it for so long at this point. And yeah, I would totally want to erase that book from my head because I hated it. The final question I'm going to answer is, how has BookTube changed my reading? I feel like mainly because of BookTube, I have found a ton of books that I was more interested in. Previous to BookTube, I used to read mainly romance, specifically historical romance, and I started to venture more into fantasy because of BookTube. And I'm so glad that I did. I used to read a few fantasies here and there because of Cassandra Clare. She was very popular, so very popular books without BookTube I just knew of, I would have read it. But to get more specific and into the nitty-gritty books that I've never even heard of, I feel like if I didn't have BookTube, I would never be able to get to those. If I didn't have BookTube in my life, my reading would have been so different at this point. I obviously create content on here that makes me really happy to do. And also watch a ton of different booktubers that I absolutely adore. So yeah, I would have had a very different experience if I didn't actually watch BookTube earlier on. Alright you guys, those are all the questions I'm going to answer for today. I will leave the links of all the people who asked the questions down below. If you're not subscribed to those channels, please do subscribe to them. They have really wonderful content. Thank you again for subscribing and staying for so long. I really appreciate that. I just want to try a new end screen, so if you're new here, click the little circle with my face on it to subscribe. My latest video will be right over there, and another video that I think you might enjoy will be down below that. If you don't follow me on my social media, it'll be linked down below. It's at ReadWithAnsu in all platforms. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!